Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Ready to explore some fascinating insights about love and relationships.
Always.
So we're diving into the world of Matthew Hussey.
You know that amazing dating expert we heard on the JayShettyPodcast? Podcast?
Yep, that's the one. He's got like 15 years of experience coaching people on finding and maintaining love.
Yeah, so this isn't just some theory he's cooked up. He's out there in the trenches.
Exactly. So instead of the same old dating advice, let's hear what he's learned from actually helping people.
One of the first things that struck me was his take on timing.
Timing?
Yeah, like it's more important than finding the right person.
Really?
He even compares finding love to starting a business. You need a plan, effort, and to be really clear on what you want.
So you can't just like rush into it.
Exactly. Some things just take time no matter how much you want them.
It's like trying to have a baby in a month, right? No
Ah.
matter how many people you involve, it's just not going to happen.
Perfect analogy. But think about it this way. What if we approach dating with that same kind of intentionality?
Like a business plan for love.
Kinda. Instead of just going with the flow, you start asking yourself, am I even ready for a relationship? Or what kind of relationship do I actually want?
What am I bringing to the table?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And if you realize you're not ready, that's okay. It's valuable information. You can work on yourself and your life first.
Build that solid foundation. So beyond timing, what else did Hussey talk about?
He emphasized relationship competence. It's like it's not enough to just be attracted to someone. They need skills.
Those skills.
Yeah, to actually be in a healthy relationship. It's like his guitar analogy. Just because someone's a talented musician.
Doesn't mean they'd be a good partner. Right.
Exactly. You need communication skills, empathy, conflict resolution, that kind of stuff.
And those aren't things you're just born with, are they?
Nope, they're learned. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever learned a valuable relationship skill from a past partner?
Even if the relationship didn't last.
Yeah, or maybe you saw a friend handle a conflict really well, and it changed your perspective.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Those are the things that build relationship competence.
Interesting. So you can actually work on becoming better at relationship.
Absolutely. By reflecting on your past and learning from the people around you.
So it sounds like Hussey's advocating for a more realistic view of dating.
Totally. He even warns against falling head over heels too fast, especially early on.
Because it's so easy to build a fantasy around someone you barely know.
Exactly. We fill in the blanks with our own hopes and wishes. He actually has a name for this. It's the poet versus the poetry.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Lots of people can be super charming on a date, like a poet, but...
But they might not be able to build a lasting relationship.
Right. They don't have the poetry, that effort and commitment to something real.
So how do you tell the difference? How do you avoid getting swept away by just a smooth talker?
He suggests looking for the poetry, the actions, active listening, thoughtful gestures, a willingness to work through disagreements. It's about how they treat you, not just what they say. And you know, this is where he really challenges us to create our own dating culture. If the one out there...
The one that like everyone else is doing.
Yeah, exactly. If that's not working...
You make your own rules.
I got it. You define what dating means to you.
I like that.
And it all starts with just being yourself, you know, like really bringing your authentic self to the table.
But what if you're like naturally reserved? Can you still do that? Create your own culture?
Oh, totally. It's not about like being super outgoing all the time.
Okay.
It's about being present and actually interested in connecting.
Oh, makes sense.
Even if you're not feeling super talkative, you can still listen, you know, ask questions.
Yeah, just be engaged.
Right. Remember, Hussey talked about being willing to lose the energy.
Oh, yeah. Be generous, but not
reckless. Yes.
Don't hold back out of fear, but also don't
spill your guts to someone who hasn't earned it.
Right. Totally. So speaking of fear, he also had some interesting thoughts on rejection.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Especially with online dating, right?
Oh, absolutely. And he makes this great point that so much of that rejection...
It's just like not about you.
Exactly. It's superficial. People swipe left for all sorts of reasons.
They could be having a bad day.
Maybe your picture wasn't that great or your bio didn't grab them.
It's so easy to judge based on a profile.
It is. And I've definitely swiped left on people who, like, if I'd met them in person...
You might have really liked them.
Exactly. But on the app, it's just a no.
So what's Hussey's advice there?
He says don't let those early rejections get you down.
Don't take it personally.
Right. See them as data points, learn from them.
Okay, so it's more about being intentional than just hoping for a match.
Yes. If you know what you're looking for.
You're basically filtering.
Exactly. And it takes the pressure off,
Hmm.
you know? Not every interaction has to be as,
It's more about gathering information.
yeah, seeing what resonates.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And this kind of leads into another point he made
Oh, yeah.
about being realistic about a partner's capacity for change.
He's not a big fan of the I can change them idea, is he?
No, not really.
He uses the analogy of New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how many of us actually stick to those?
Not many.
And changing our own habits is hard enough.
Yeah. So expecting someone else to totally change their personality.
It's setting yourself up for disappointment.
So it's more about accepting people as they are.
Exactly. Now, that doesn't mean you have to put up with bad behavior,
Right.
but you have to be honest about what you're willing to accept.
What are your deal breakers?
Yeah. If you're always hoping they'll change,
You need to ask yourself,
is that hope based on anything real? Or are you just kidding yourself?
it's so easy to get caught up in potential and forget.
About reality, exactly. And if the reality is that you're unhappy,
Then maybe it's time to move on.
this brings us back to one of his most powerful ideas, you know,
Which one?
the abandonment demon.
Ooh, yeah. That inner voice.
That tells us to stay in bad relationships because we're afraid of being alone.
You'll never find anyone better.
At least you have someone. Those are its lines.
But those are lies.
Really?
Yeah.
It's fear talking, trying to keep us trapped.
And sometimes the best thing you can do,
Is walk away even if it hurts. And that takes a lot of courage, you know,
it
to
does.
face that demon and choose yourself.
Yeah, to walk away from what's familiar, even if it's not good for you.
Exactly. But Hussey says that's the path of freedom to real happiness.
That's what really stuck with me, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have the power to change your love life.
You're not just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah. You get to decide what you want and how you show up.
It all starts with knowing your own worth,
And setting boundaries.
not settling for less than you deserve.
It's almost like we have to become the kind of partner we're looking for.
You got it. It's about embodying those qualities you admire, you know.
Working on those relationship skills.
And dating with intent.
Being authentic.
That's how you attract the right people.
It's like that saying, be the change you want to see in the world.
But for relationships,
Exactly. It's not about waiting for love to find you.
you create it.
This deep dive has been amazing.
Oh, I know, right?
It's like Hussey's giving us permission to throw out the old rule book.
Write our own rules.
Be intentional. Be self-aware. Know our worth.
And don't settle.
It's about finding a love that truly nourishes your soul.
And remember,
Yeah,
be the poetry, not just the poet.
I love that. So to wrap things up,
Yeah.
I want to leave everyone with this question.
Okay, I'm listening.
If you could build your ideal partner,
From scratch.
yes, what qualities would you prioritize?
Yeah.
How would they handle conflict? What kind of energy would they bring?
Take some time to think about that.
And then ask yourself,
How can I become that person?
how can I be a better partner?
Not just for someone else.
But for myself too.
Because at the end of the day,
The most important relationship is the one we have with ourselves.
it all starts there.
That's where love begins.
Well said.
This has been another deep dive.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you next time for more exploration and discovery.